Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I keep saying that I will be back in on a weekly basis or an episode in every 3 days. So now this is just an episode. I don't know when you'll see me again, but one thing is guaranteed, I'll always come back. So in today's episode, I am going to take you through the second chapter or the second episode of blueprints full of students. Initially, I had said that it was like blueprints for first years LLB students, but I think most of the things that I talk about are applicable to law students at all levels, if not all students. Last week, I spoke about the concept of clean slate. So basically, the concept of clean slate is, I was talking from a point of being a first year, because when I first learned about that concept, I was doing my first year. The concept is that where you are currently, you have to see that as a clean slate, and moving forward, you have to think about what you want written on that slate, and you have to act accordingly. You have to act according to what you want written on that slate. So if you want A's written on your slate at the end of the day, you have to act accordingly. You have to act in a manner that at the end of the day, A's are going to be written on that slate. But I'm not going to go into details of what a clean slate concept is, because I made an episode about that. So you have to go back and watch my first episode. Yeah, so in today's episode, I'm going to talk about the power of networking. And honestly, I did a bit of research for this one, because I wanted to take you through the definitions of these three concepts. It's connections, it's networking, and it's nepotism. So let's start with connections, and we'll just come back and make the connections. So according to Cambridge dictionary, a connection is the act of joining or state of being joined to something else, or the process of being joined or state of being joined. And the definition of nepotism, again from Cambridge dictionary, is the act of using your power or influence to get good jobs or unfair advantages for family members. And I think that can include your friends. And now the definition of networking. So your network is considered people that you know, considered a group whose members exchange information with each other. So my understanding, my connection of the three concepts is this: both networking and nepotism are types of connections. So what we often hear of is that it's difficult to get jobs. So if you don't have connections, it's more difficult to get jobs. So it's almost like people who get jobs, they only get jobs through connections. But what I understand from the tone that people are talking about and the emotions that accompany what people are saying is that people get jobs because when they talk about connections, it's always the connections they talk about are always accompanied by attached to a negative connotation. And my way of seeing it is nepotism. Like I said, nepotism and network are types of connections, different ways of connecting, like the types of connections. So nepotism is the negative aspect of connections, and network, that is good. That's what everyone else should strive for. Everyone should strive for networks, because I think that it is lazy and it is very wrong to complain about the fact that people are getting jobs via connections. Because the fact that you are going to draft a CV, send it to a firm, it's so that you can be connected to the recruiters of this firm, so that you can be considered at the end of the day. You can't get a job without connecting to a firm or to whichever organization you want to work for. So that's why I think that most people who complain about, connections, the fact that like when you don't have connections it's difficult to get a job, it's people who think that people are getting jobs through nepotism, which is you are like people getting favors because they're family, and unjustifiably so. That is nepotism. And if you're going to complain about people getting jobs through connections, then you have to establish your own connections. That is networking. And that's where we are get into now the concept of nepotism, because the concept of networking, because there is power in that. There is power in having a network. Networking, like we've already said, as your network is the people that you know. Now you form a group, and in that group you exchange information. So normally the people in that group will be people who have the potential to open doors for you, to give you referrals, to give you proper insight. So as a law student, when you are still in university or as a fresh graduate, your network may comprise your fellow classmates or your law school alumni, your colleagues, your mentors, your lecturers, your supervisors, judges, magistrates, and the likes. So, but then for people who are already in practice, your network may include professionals in related industries and business contacts or clients. Your network can be even like family members, it can be friends, it can be police officers, it can be paralegals, court officials. It's endless. You will never know where your next opportunity may come from. For instance, you can have a police officer who is connected to somebody who's got a firm. So if you are connected to this police officer, if this police officer hears of this opportunity, they are going to refer you to the firm. And that's why I'm saying that either way, nepotism, networking, all are connections. They're both connections. So now, how do you establish a network? When you're in a university, you can establish networks through societies and organizations, through such as moot courts, Black Lawyers Associations, taking up a job. You can also establish networks through taking up a job on campus, like for example, working as an admin, yes, in your faculty, and consulting with lecturers. You must consult. Consultations come a long way. Lecturers, for example, they know people in practice, right? They know people in different organizations. So when they do come across an opportunity, you are among the first people that this lecturer will contact and link to this opportunity. And I speak from the experience I have. I'm not saying go and befriend these lecturers and the likes just so that like you can benefit at the end of the day. If your relationships are not genuine, I'm telling you, it's gonna be felt, and they're not even gonna consider you. But yeah, I have seen networks work for me. For example, getting like bursaries, being drafted, these people drafting what are these letters? A reference letter. These people drafting you reference letters timelessly, because also you have to understand that these lecturers, they have a lot of work, né? So if you have a relationship with them, they know you, they are able to take their time to make time for you, even though they're so busy, they're able to make time for you to draft that letter, despite the fact that they have 500 scripts to mark. They're able to just understand that, okay, Vanessa needs to apply for this job and it's due, it's the closing date is in 2 days. Then they're able to make time for you, even if it's during their weekend and they have so much to mark. They're able to make time for you and write those letters for you. But please, relationships are mutual. Okay, relationships are mutual. I'm not saying that like go to lecturers and just like take and take and take. If you're going to establish a relationship, you have to pour into it. I'm gonna leave it at that. And another way of establishing a network is socializing with like-minded fellow classmates. For example, I'm starting a study group. Again, like I'm emphasizing like-minded classmates, because if you're going to formulate a study group with people who don't share the same mindset as you, then what is going to end up, the study group will end up being something else, and now you're taking up your time to study to do other things. So like-minded classmates. Volunteering at firms. If you have time, especially during the holidays, if you go home and when you have the opportunity to be around firms, you can always just go and ask if you can volunteer at firms. And also, if you are on LinkedIn, there are people who have incorporated firms that you can always just DM them. Is it DM or LinkedIn? Yeah, you can always just like message them and just try and ask for a space to come and learn from their firms. Just volunteer for a week or two during the holidays if you have nothing else to do during that time. And another thing that you can do in order to establish networks is participating in events such as seminars, workshops, and other networking events that are organized by legal organizations or your school or law firms, because law firms would often come to campus during career fairs. Some will come just before exams for refreshers, and just go, and you'll never know who you'll speak to, and you will never know how far that conversation will go. So just go there with a mind to learn and to establish a network and not an immediate contract. Okay, don't go there expecting like if I can twist and get in this direction, I can get myself a contract right there and there. Don't go there with that mindset, please. That's a brief. Lastly, I want to take you through the advantages of effective networking. So why networking is that important? So your network will serve as a bridge to getting opportunities. So the fact that I have this, for example, a lecturer that I saw consult to, and through conversations, like when you are having a conversation with this person, because you will consult and you'll have a conversation at times, and you can also just ask them if they do come across opportunities, may they let you know this is what you are interested in. And when they do come across that thing that you are interested in, the first person they think of is you. So you are among the first people to apply at wherever this lecturer is connecting you to. They can also make referrals if they have a friend in practice or a friend who has a law firm and is looking for a candidate attorney. This person can henceforth say, I know Vanessa. Vanessa is very good. She'll make a good candidate attorney. Sometimes you might not even have to go through the process of, interviews and screening, and just get the job. That's the power of networking. The second one is that it impacts your perspective. Sometimes you sit alone and think that like you understand things and be constrained to your own way of seeing things, until you sit down with people and you pick their minds and you start seeing things differently and understanding things differently, and also that challenges and expands how you think. Like, it's not good to just see things from one angle, especially as a lawyer. It challenges you to grow and to step out of your comfort zone. For example, I think I was so comfortable with the idea of me being an introvert. I liked the idea of being alone. Like, I would even tell you, like, I'm so much recharged when I'm alone in my room, dancing to pop music and not being bothered by anyone. But then you start to understand that firstly, we are in this world together for a reason. We don't exist in this world alone for a reason. We need each other. And if you're going to go into a place of work, you don't have a choice. You have to interact with people. You have to interact with clients. You have to go to court. You have to interact with, from the security to the magistrate or to the judge. You need to interact with people. So having, going to these functions, to these career fairs, it helps you to learn how to connect with different people. So it's an opportunity for you to step out of your comfort zone and get to know people, get to interact with different people with different temperaments. Another advantage is that it inspires you to develop and advance yourself. So for example, when you stop staying in your room alone and then you start socializing with other students, you get to learn hore. Other students are not only doing the curriculum. Some students are already writing articles while in university. Some students are working at the same time. Some students are mentees somewhere. Some students are doing all these sorts of things. And these things, at the end of the day, when you guys apply for work, it makes them desirable candidates. So when you interact with these people, you get inspired to do more than just the curriculum. You might get inspired to write an article or to take up a job or to volunteer somewhere and develop the necessary skills that will set you apart at the end of the day when you apply. And again, you don't know who you will meet when you take up that job or when you become a mentee of that specific person. Last but not least is that it ensures that you are a desirable candidate to recruiters. And I think I've already said this also, because all these advantages that I talk about, they are all connected. At the end of the day, you expand your skills, you get inspired to expand your skills, and therefore you become a desirable candidate to recruiters. And that is it from me, and this is a long video. I tried so hard to keep these videos at 15 minutes, but I couldn't do that. I think I made a first video about talking about the same concept, but I felt like, especially for a first year student who's watching me, I was not doing enough justice, because I felt like it was almost like I was summarizing what I've just said here. So I wanted this to be quite extensive. That's why I went as far as doing a bit of research and just trying to get some of my concepts right. But yeah, I think also I have included my personal testimony, so that you understand that these are not just concepts. What I'm trying to share with you are not just concepts. These are the things that have helped me. I believe that they have helped me. I think I'm gonna leave it at that for tonight. And thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and to like my video, and also share my videos with your friends, not my friends, because my friends have access to my videos. I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you. Bye.